Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. Well, the world is chaotic, isn't it? We're living in a world of chaos. You are, I am, we all are. And I think that it's getting about to get ready to be more chaotic, and you need to know what to do about that. I got a message from a friend of mine last night and then another one this morning. He lives down in Colombia, down in the country, Pablo's old country. Um, Talking about some things and just asking me some things and asking how the get together went and but other things. And matter of fact, I've got his book here. I mentioned him before. Name's Mike Morton. He wrote, that's why I found it for you. He wrote the book, The Deep State Uncovered. I highly suggest it. You can find it on Amazon. Mike has trained people all over the world. He was former law enforcement in the United States, did all the cool things, has trained people all over the world, and now lives in Colombia, where he trains the military, the Colombian military, and special police down there. And he was saying, well, they're keeping a close eye on what's happening here in the United States, because as the United States goes, the ripples extend everywhere in the world. Now, Mike has moved to Colombia and says that's where he prefers to stay. When he comes up to the States, he says he can't wait to get back. He was just up here a month or so ago, something like that. I talked about it. He was over to the house, and we talked about a lot of things, very interesting things. So, the eyes of the world are on us, but we need to keep our eyes on things as closely as the rest of the world does. I just did a video that I just put up on the American Reversion channel. And if you're interested in politics and understand that politics drives the realities of our country and our world, and if you're not with us on the American Reversion channel, come on over. I explain on there how, regardless of what has happened, where we thought everything, well, I won't get into politics. I'll simply say I explained how the Democrats can win. Everybody thinks they're in disarray. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I explained exactly how they can win this next election. And if you're one of those who actually thinks rather than responds emotionally, you go hear what I say about it. It will be important. And they could. What direction our country goes in it's important that you understand it, that you recognize it and understand it, because that will help you understand how you should prepare. When I was thinking about talking about this today, I remembered something that, we had our gathering last week. It's been a little over a week now. We had just exceptional people come to it. And one of the things, Hondo Bob, one of our top, very smart, I felt smarter just standing next to him. One of our very smart commenters over there, members and commenters on the Patreon side. And I'm going to give a plug here. I don't care. If you want more information, come to our Patreon channel. The link is down below. You see, there are many other places that will help. Rather than just watch one channel or a couple of channels, there are places that you can go to get even more information. And it's important that you start going deeper in understanding preparedness, politics, and things like that. That's why I mentioned Mike's book. That's why I mentioned the Patreon channel. You should avail yourself of these resources. Anyway, Hondo Bob, he brought me a kind of a goodie bag. He brought me some cool stuff. Thanks, man. He's the one that made these lanterns behind me. I've said this before, and I think he's getting ready to make them available for sale. But he gave me this military compass, this very cool military compass. Now, I wasn't in the military, okay? Like I say, I was in law enforcement. We had street signs to tell us where to go and addresses. Well, in the military, those of you guys who were in the military know this. Pretty much everybody else does. The military is taught, orienteering. I'm not sure what all the terms are. But he was starting to show me all the different things that if you make it go different ways, all the different things that this can tell you, a compass. I was going to say a simple compass, but this is not simple at all, as he explained to me. We didn't have time for him to instruct me on how to do everything, but I was amazed at how many things a person can use this for. All the things you can learn from this, but you have to know how to use it. I don't. So I'm going to study it, or I'll grab one of my old military friends, and I'm going to have them instruct me in this, because it's obvious that this is important. Thanks, Hondo. Again, in order to find out where you're going, well, you need a destination. I think most of you hopefully have an idea of what your destination is. But you have to have the skills. You have to have the tools. Me looking at this is like a monkey looking at a computer right now. I can't use this for anything. I guess I could find north. And if I remember my Boy Scout days, I can remember how to go, okay, stay on the, 20 degrees, 100 steps, and then, stuff like that. My knowledge of this is, rudimentary is an exaggeration of how much I know. I know squat. So many people are in that situation when it comes to preparedness, and especially when it comes to dealing with a chaotic future. The chaos of the present, the chaos of the future. It might be a continuation. It might be a totally different chaos. But keeping up with what's going on in the world is important. And I know that a lot of people in the preparedness world, let me put it this: a lot of people in the preparedness world don't like to keep up with what's going on. They don't think that it's going to affect them. They're going to live their simple life. They're going to try to extricate themselves from being affected, and that's good. I agree with that. I tell people, you need to separate yourself from dependence on all of the systems that you currently depend on. So when a system comes down, you're not going to be hurt, right? Whether that's the banking system, like we saw the other day, whether it's the communication system, whether it's the food delivery system, no matter what it is, if a system goes down, you're going to be affected as little as possible. And if they all come down, well, you still want to be affected as little as possible. That's the whole lesson of my books. And links, if you want my books, they're down below. But that doesn't mean you separate yourself from keeping track of what's going on in the world. If you stop paying attention to what's happening around you, you're divorcing yourself from the ability to recognize and plan for approaching problems. Does that make sense? So while you want to separate yourself from dependence on systems, you don't want to separate yourself from keeping track of what's going on. We saw the stupidest movie the other night, Twister. Not the new one, but the old one, because my daughter likes tornadoes, and so she wanted to see it. Well, it was just the most ridiculous movie. If you've seen it, I didn't like it at the time. I didn't like it this time. Even she left halfway through the movie saying it was stupid. But it was a matter of people trying to, it was a story of people trying to, be able to predict the actions of a tornado. Well, there are some things that you can, some ways, predict. The pathway are certain elements. Those who know how to do this. I don't. I can't explain it. But from what I understand, the more you know about tornadic activity, it is possible to make certain determinations on path and strength and things like that. And that gives you something. That gives you something to work on. And I think I want to go watch this new Twisters because I think the special effects will be better, and hopefully the acting's better, and hopefully the story's better. We will see. Doesn't matter. But as their ability to predict increases, just like they can predict hurricanes now, as your ability to predict the coming chaos increases, your ability to prepare for it increases also. Make sense? Right. So my whole point today is chaos is coming. I mean, it could be, and the type of chaos is coming. We can't be sure yet. As we get closer to the election, and the election is a determinant, make no mistake. That's why people who say, I don't care about politics anymore, well, that's like saying, I don't care about the weather anymore. Because it's going to affect you. And it's going to affect you more if you don't pay attention to what's going on. Simple as that. But chaos is coming. And the type of chaos is going to be different depending on what happens with this election. You need to stay abreast of things. This is, people will tell you, you need to, pay attention to what's going on in the world. You need to pay attention. The person that will say, you need to pay attention to what's going on around you in a parking lot, too often is the one who doesn't pay attention to what's going on geopolitically. And that doesn't make any sense. It's simply another layer of paying attention to what's going on around you. And the better you do that, the better you're able to prepare. Okay? So my message here, chaos is coming. Recognize it, pay attention, develop the ability to set your path. Determine what path you need to set in order to get where you need to get. Are you totally self-sufficient yet? If you're not, how are you going to get there? And you need to be able to get there. Okay? Even though I've been preparing for years and years and years and years and years, and I like the position that I'm in now, I'm still looking at the next step, and so should you. Okay? If you want to see what the next step could be, if you want the complete plan for preparing for, surviving and rebuilding after a total collapse of everything, might I suggest the Stonemont series, my books, The Reversion, The Revival, The Renewal, and Appeal to Heaven, The Blessings of Freedom and Hostages to Fortune. And the last one, the very latest one, just came out, that I would be spending the rest of my day signing and shipping out sets and single books and all this kind of stuff on Wings Like Eagles. You can get them through Amazon. They get them to you fast. You can get them through me. I get them to you slow, but I get them to you signed and with a little note, and I love doing that. And we do have a one-click option for the entire set, which also we throw in the Stonemont notebook, which is cool, and you get a little discount when you do it like that, and we love doing that. But decide where you are now, where you need to be to survive and do well through the chaos, and then I can't wait to learn how to use this thing. I'm just flipping things up so that I feel like, I had to find out, set your path, have the ability to set your path on how to get from where you are to where you need to be. Okay? All right. You all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.